Hi, I'm Adeline. I'm 19. No, I'm 19. Yeah, I'm 19, turning 20, and I'm doing media, so I'm a media student. My relationship with God was very informational. I didn't feel anything relational because all of it was almost like head knowledge, but it wasn't like, yeah, anything to do with like my heart transformation. And I realized that when hard times came, I would easily doubt God and like his character because I didn't really know him. So it was almost like you hear about someone at school and you don't really know them personally, but your knowledge of them can only be based on someone else's experiences with them. So yeah, that's how I felt with God early on in my walk with Christ. I think it was a heel ride, like a roller coaster ride, and I think looking back now, a lot of the lows were the parts where I drew really like near to Jesus and knew like a big part of God's character. So that came when I was in church and I was serving, but as I grew up, the kids at church were not very nice. So then a lot of exclusion happened, and I was the odd one out. And I realized when I was younger as a kid, I sort of formed this idea that I had to work for love because for me it felt like I had to do something to deserve that acceptance from people or for them to like want to be my friend. So that's how I kind of like projected that idea of love onto other people and obviously my relationship with God. Um, and that went on in church for like about a good few years. And yeah, I vividly remember this like one time that we were just everyone was like allowed into this one girl's room, but I had to play with the dogs because I wasn't allowed into a room. But anyways, so then I was 13, and when you're 13, you get to decide if you want to go to youth group or you basically don't go to Sunday school anymore because you're old enough. And that's when I decided not to go to youth group because I was really hurt by the community. And that's where I really just like fell away from the faith. And I was going to church, but I would be physically present, but my mind wouldn't be there because I just felt like, what is the whole point of being in a community that's really hurtful for me? Um, and that went on for like 2 years. And I was just happy and I was really comfortable with my life because I felt that I didn't need God or like didn't need any community to surround me at that time, and I was doing fine. But I remember just my mom being like really worried, and my cousins, they would like tell me, come to youth group, like you can go to other churches, but I wouldn't listen because I kind of had the idea that the community would like hurt me everywhere I go or I was the problem. And then it went on until I was 15, just like hit a new low. I was failing some classes which never happened before. There were family issues. I was in this toxic situation with a guy, and it was just like going haywire. And I realized that at that point, if I felt like I was driving a car, and if I was gonna hold the steering wheel, I would hit the road and just like crash into something. And I felt that that was the point I had to, yeah, let go of self control and let God come into my life. But it wasn't as easy as how I wanted it to be. So it happened. I remember this one Chinese New Year day, we had everywhere else to be except for church. But long story short, things happened and it was raining and we couldn't go Chinese New Year visiting. So my mom was saying, do you want to go back to church? And I was like, fine. And I remember being in my Chinese New Year clothes and we were at church. And I think for the first time I felt welcomed somewhere at like a community, and I've never like felt that before. And I vividly remember the youth group I was with long term. The first time we met, I just felt like instantly welcomed by them, and yeah, just felt God's presence through them. Um, and that was my journey with trusting community and like finding community again. This is my shirt, and it's a special shirt. It doesn't look really special, but it is because it's 30 years old, so I'm 20, so it's 10 years older than me because it's actually my mom's shirt. So my mom was serving in New Zealand, and she was leading a ministry back then, and she wore this shirt a lot because she really liked it, and I think that just like symbolizes her faithfulness to God, and it's one of like the pass me downs that I really really cherish because whenever I wear this shirt, I get reminded of my mom and her faithfulness, and how that has like helped me with my walk with Christ. I didn't know like previously was my mom was actually like interceding for me in like private for 2 years. Yeah, I think when she was telling me, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And I think prayer is like really powerful. And that phrase took on a whole new meaning because I was the product basically, and my testimony only happened because of her prayer and her faithfulness. And yeah, I think that was a pivotal moment of my faith journey.